All right. Young Money gets his first win of the season and holds off the Toyotas. Josh Berry sneaks out of second place from a pit strategy. And as always, we are here for the speed. All right, guys. So we're in a little bit of a different location, but I am DJ. I'm with Here for the Speed, and I am joined by...
My name's Jacob. What's funny about being in a different location, we all sat in the same rotation.
I know, right? I feel like I've heard that before.
Outtakes.
Inside joke.
Anyways, sitting next to me, as usual, is...
Nate, and I'm joined by...
Local Brad Keselowski fan, Matthew over here. Wrapping up a great race at Richmond.
Bro, speaking of Brad, like he had a really good race this day.
100%.
Like I was not expecting that.
I'm the only one that picked him.
Yeah, normally short tracks and Brad are not two things that go together.
I think it kind of depends on the ebbs and flows of Penske, but I think they overperformed what I expected.
Well, I mean, he's not with Penske anymore.
Well, I'm just saying in general, his history, his tenure with Penske.
Fair
Penske
enough,
ebbs and flows. I mean, when they're hitting it, they're really good at short tracks,
That's
and when
true.
they're not, they're not.
I'll give you that. Yeah.
So, but today being RFK, I think they outperformed what I expected a little bit.
You give Brad 3/4 of a mile, he's gonna show off, bro.
Man, this ain't Fast and the Furious, bro. Get the hell out of here.
This ain't Fast and the Furious. My God.
Family.
I just can't see even. I can't even see Brad trying to even say that line.
Oh my God.
Look, Kurt, it's all about family. Like, how's that gonna go?
Me and Busher.
No, but I mean, it was a good race. I thought it was really good. There was a lot of lead changes. We had a lot of back and forth.
Most in, I think I saw a stat of like 6-7 years.
Yeah, it was. I don't know what the number was, but it was high.
Yeah,
it was definitely.
I don't know what the total was, but like 10 to go was like 22, I think.
Jeez,
I never saw. I don't think I saw the total, but it was like 22, 23 maybe. That's a lot, man. For Richmond,
so many changes.
That's a big change. So Nate, you don't know as much because obviously being newer, but I mean,
Really?
Richmond has been kind of. I mean, we hinted to it last week's podcast. Yeah, it's been kind of a not so great race. They even put it as the regular season finale to try to spice it up. Didn't help.
Wow.
But man, this package and this car.
Today
Man,
it was
pretty good.
Yeah, today it was a really good race. I enjoyed it. It was very entertaining. A lot of lead changes, which was phenomenal. I chose people that nobody chose, and although Truex let me down today, I'm not gonna
Honestly,
lie.
he was a sleeper pick because he was looking really solid.
Yeah, I mean, none of us picked Truex but you.
Yeah,
that was a good
but
pick,
me.
bro.
Honestly, like, barring like the end, but like he was looking solid.
And I mean, I was going off of the fact that he had won 3 times before at this racetrack.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I picked him. And to see him out in first was impressive.
Yeah.
Because he worked his way all the way from the back of the
I
field.
mean, we haven't really seen much of him since the Clash.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's very true.
I think with the field there was a big difference between the short
Short
what are
run.
they? Short run drivers and the long run drivers, and just how the race ended up, just being that last 10 to 15 laps, all those long run drivers were kind of out of it. There was not much they could do.
You know what I really liked with this package, and maybe the new car and just everything? I like guys seem to really struggling for grip.
Oh
Yeah, there was
that
a
was
lot
pretty
of
awesome,
slide.
man.
Who was it? Who was it that it was
Blaney.
No.
Well,
Blaney had his own issues.
Blaney struggled
Blaney
in
had his
general.
own issues. No, it was Tyler Reddick at the end of stage 2. My God, I thought that man was losing it.
I don't know if he
whole
burned
time.
his stuff up early or
couldn't
what,
tell
but
you.
man,
I don't know.
You could see him when he was coming
struggling.
out of 3.
He was off
He
the
was driving
pace.
left, right, just trying to stay straight through the
Major-
starting track. You could see it on TV. It was clear as
Major
day. And I was
handling
like, man, he was
issues.
just waiting for that caution. He was like, I need to come in.
Yeah. So real quick, we're gonna go over the top 10 because this was a pretty diverse group of top 10. So did you?
Yeah, before you go to that, I just just to reemphasize, when was the last time since last year, in the beginning of last year, that we saw guys just losing it? I mean, just losing it.
Yeah.
Tyler Reddick.
I honestly can't think of anything since
people
this next
over
gen.
driving the exit, hitting the wall.
Yeah.
I mean, that was. I mean, This takes me back to the days when I was a little kid at Bristol and you'd watch qualifying and watch people spin out during qualifying. Like it had that nostalgia hit of like, bro, these cars look hard to drive today.
Yeah. You could tell.
It
The
looked
drivers
good.
had their.
It was good. I think. Well, we're gonna get into that part of it later, but I thought overall it was really good. So top 10 rundown. We had Kyle Larson obviously in first, getting his first
Young
win.
Money.
Yep,
Yeah.
Young Money getting his first win, returning to his old ways. Maybe
Kind of surprising seeing how good he's been running. Took him 7 races to get one.
considering that he's been at the top 3, like the last 3 or 4 races. Yeah,
I thought when he had that pit road incident where he got, I mean, it wasn't really
It wasn't
that
major,
big,
yeah.
but still, I mean, something like that can ruin drivers' days.
This
could
just
have been a toe link easily.
Yeah, so it could be something just like
even
that.
a
and
fender
he
lose
still-
the downforce off
Yeah.
the right.
It was
front.
a hard hit. It was
decent.
I was gonna say so. The way that car held up
Mm-hmm.
speaks to why they were so aggressive last week because they knew they could take
Yeah, they could
shots
take hits.
and not crash not damage the car.
right.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So we had Kyle Larson in first. Josh Berry getting a top 2, getting second place.
You bury believe
This
it.
is
I'm
wild.
gonna be honest.
Oh, you very believe it.
I've been waiting for that one.
How long have you been saving that? I'm
Barry
gonna be
believe
honest.
it.
I didn't expect that because honestly, Barry's been pretty disappointing as far as I'm concerned so
I
far.
don't think anybody
Man,
expected that.
disappointing.
I would say disappointing.
Okay,
Man,
so
I
this
mean,
is what
is
his
his
third.
first couple races.
This
in
is
this
his third
Cup.
Cup Series.
I
race.
don't know. I thought as good as he is in Xfinity, I just expected a little more.
I don't know. I feel
Maybe
like
maybe I'm
Man,
expecting.
I don't know,
but
man.
but
you got to give him some grace.
to be
dude.
fair, but he's also in Chase Elliott's ride. It's not like he's in like a medium, level team. He's
That's
in
very true,
He's
too.
in a Hendrick car, and not just a
Okay,
Hendrick
so
car.
let's
Chase Elliott's car.
Let's flip that back. Who could we compare it to? Who's
Okay,
awesome?
say
What? Ty
Noah
Gibbs?
Gregson, Ty Gibbs, Harrison Burton.
Okay, but
that's
no.
all
That's-
2 years or less.
Okay,
Harrison Burton
And he
Ty-
has been
Much
outrunning
better.
them or
Fair
running
enough.
close.
Fair enough.
Harrison Burton and
Fair enough.
Gregson are not in that same level of material. You know they're not in the same
Man,
level. of
Gregson
cars.
was pretty nasty. Like Gregson had more wins than Barry did last year.
right.
He
but
means in the Cup now.
in the Cup cars.
In the Cup now. His car now is not
He's
up
not
to
in a
his
Hendrick
I
car.
see what you're saying.
Ty
Yeah.
Gibbs is in a Joe Gibbs car.
But
Barry is in a Hendrick car.
Gregson ran way more Cup races than Barry did last year. A whole bunch
Ty
to
Gibbs.
0.
Ty Gibbs ran a bunch. I think Ty Gibbs is the closest comparison.
I think Ty Gibbs is. I just didn't want to
and
say
it-
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because he
100%.
ran
Who else in the Cup is a total rookie this year?
total rookie.
Chandler Smith made his first Cup debut today.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Or maybe not his first Cup debut, but I'm not sure on that stat.
Well,
but
okay, I'm not sure, but yeah.
I would
Anyway,
compare,
I don't know.
I'd compare Josh Berry to someone like Ty Gibbs.
You're putting Josh Berry in a car he has almost no experience on and a track he had no practice or qualifying on.
and he got second.
Okay.
Compared to
He didn't run
However-
great all day, but he did get a good finish.
Hey, he
but he
played the smart
ran
game.
he ran good the last 40 laps.
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so let's move on because we
And
still got to get
and
through
he
the.
got spun out by
Early.
Oh,
Blaney.
he
Super
did.
early.
That's
Yeah,
true,
you're
at the
right.
early, yeah.
He did.
I would say too.
So okay, so I mean, yeah, a really good day
Yeah.
compared to
He capitalized on the day.
yes, fair
And
enough.
that's
yeah.
important in Cup, man.
That is true.
You have to capitalize on the day before you can win first.
You're better lucky than good.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, Bowman knows all about that.
All right, number
Real
top,
quick before you
sorry.
go to 3.
Yeah.
Byron, who ran second all day, got spun out. Or
Yeah.
not second, but ran top 3 pretty much all day.
Pretty much, yeah.
He was really fast, man. Larson and Byron, Hendrick as an organization,
Yeah.
showed up fast again.
We'll get in there. It's like all if you have Byron not spinning out, all of Hendrick is in the top 10
Yeah.
with a backup driver.
Where's Bowman? Where did he finish?
Eighth.
Eighth.
We'll get
Top
there.
8.
He was top
We'll
10
get there.
all day.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So number 3, Ross Chastain. Dude was consistent all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like was in the top 5
Yep.
the entire day.
Captain America.
Yeah, it's Captain America car. Dude, I love that paint scheme though. On a side
You know what I
note.
like about Ross Chastain today? He had a top 3 car. He didn't have a race winning car, but he had top 3,
And kept it.
and that's what he got.
He's
He
learned
didn't
a lot
overdrive
more
it.
control.
Yep, he didn't.
gotten
He
a
didn't.
lot
He
more
didn't
control this
abuse
season.
it
I think you got a point, man.
and got what the car would give him today.
He knows he doesn't have to really go out there and get the wins, per se, but he's playing the smart game of getting points,
Yep.
and just
Yeah.
capitalizing on his points. And when
We'll
he's
talk
out
about-
there, he'll get his
He
win.
he drove aggressively. Look at the move he made on Kyle Busch
Oh, you have to.
early on in the race, letting his presence be known.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's essential. I feel like that's letting your letting your presence be known on the track. And look where Kyle Busch ended up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he
Right?
didn't. I don't know. I don't have past the top 10, but he was in top 15.
That was 15th, I think.
I think it was 14 or 15.
14, yeah.
I mean, not terrible, but definitely not what we would expect from Kyle
started-
Busch.
I would say too.
second?
I mean, we don't have this as an about it topic, but the Chastain Bell Byron incident, whose fault? I'm not putting that on Chastain, even
That's
though I've
not on-
seen
I don't
NASCAR
think
Twitter and Byron both blame Chastain. It seems like anytime this guy is in the same zip code, people want to start
Well,
blaming.
It's easy.
Probably somewhat of that is kind of true. But,
He
but
had a
this time,
lot of it.
This
Yeah.
time, I'm not putting out either. I think Bell and Byron both went for the same lane, and it's just a racing deal.
I think you could make a good
but
argument
it's,
for
but
either
it's
one.
not Chastain because Chastain got to the inside of Bell. That's not fair, man.
Not on a restart.
Nah, heck
Listen, what I love about Chastain is that he's not afraid to make enemies on the racetrack.
Yep.
And you know what?
So
I love it.
You know,
bro.
okay.
no. Yeah, you know what I am?
Well,
I'm
he's sure
about
not
it.
trying to
I'm
find
about it, dude.
He's sure not trying to get friends. So.
No.
100%.
So you know something
He's
I
out
was
there to
thinking
win.
about, and maybe we need to do a discussion topic on this at some point. Is so I don't think any of us really are the biggest fans of Joey Logano here, but if you really look at Ross Chastain and Joey Logano,
They're very
they're
similar.
very similar, and we love Ross Chastain.
It's just because he's a Florida boy like us.
maybe it's like he's comes from humble beginnings, so we think of it more like okay, I guess. But yeah, like neither one of them makes friends, and then when they get out of the car, they're just smiling like, "Oh man, yeah, that was great. We did great."
I just want to know if Chad Chastain is also fueled by watermelons.
Oh, God.
No, he's fueled by strawberries.
Oh, he's a strawberry
Oh
farmer.
my god.
He's a blueberry boy.
Totally different. All right, moving on down the top 10. Christopher Bell in fourth. Man, he had a fast
Good day.
fast car.
He started 21st, right?
21st.
Yeah, and that's based off of owner points because we didn't have any qualifying or practice. So good day for them, man. I mean,
Led the race
it
for a
seemed
little while.
like the middle of the race, he was the car to beat. And
Long
then
run.
somewhere third stage, they kind of lost
I
the
wouldn't
setup
even say
a little
that.
bit.
His long run speed.
Yeah.
If that track went green for 40, 50 laps, he would have made his way back.
But he
to
was
the
like
front.
fourth. I mean, you think he was going to pass them all?
Yes.
I
I mean,
could have.
He passed 20 people.
I think if there was
He
a
was
whole
leading the race at a point.
if there was a whole nother green flag pit stop, maybe. But I think with just like another like 60 lap run, I mean it's possible. But I mean, hard
I
to say
think-
now. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to be too much.
But
like,
it seemed like he fired off really good in the middle of the race. Like it wasn't just a long run. Like he fired off and was like boom, 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 boom. Like the middle of the race, like they were the fastest car.
I think he
hands
could
down.
just maybe he just managed his equipment better. I think that's what it
Could
could have
be,
been because a lot of the drivers, I mean, they just fell off.
Yeah.
Just,
I think what it came down to today was pit speed.
Man, we saw that make a
There
huge
was a
impact.
lot.
I mean, look at Reddick.
Man,
Look at Blaney.
I had
Yeah,
Reddick picked
Blaney
in
had-
my fantasy league, and man, it was like every pit stop was like, oh god, losing spot,
Devastating.
Yeah.
brutal. And Reddick was fast, and then once he got back to like 15th in the chaos maybe back there, I mean it was pretty messy back there. I mean, of course it is. Everybody's elbows out, everybody's fighting for position, and like, man, like he could never like break. I think he had probably top 5, maybe top 8 speed, but he could never like get through. You know?
Yeah.
Once he got back in the mud.
Yep. Moving down the list to number 5. This guy again came out of nowhere. Kevin Harvick.
I don't think so. He won this race last fall.
Okay, that's true.
So I kind of expected him actually probably to do a little bit better.
But I mean, like as far as this
He
year
did
goes,
finish top 5.
That's good.
yeah.
That's
But I
a good
mean,
result.
like this year, he hasn't really showed up that much.
yeah, he's been
He's been okay.
He's been a top 5.
I
top
mean,
10.
dude,
Not
it's
the
his
Harvick
last-
we're used to.
It's his last year, dude. Cut him some slack.
No,
bro.
you don't get any slack. It's
think-
your last year.
I've
I was
seen
kinda
a
This last year,
No,
he's just
I'm
trying
gonna
to
be
get
honest.
a check.
No,
bro.
this
was a
is
little
our.
surprised
This is
he,
he's forever a champion. Remember? Haven't you seen the marketing?
No, for sure.
I mean, I don't know. Harvick right now is 5th in points. So I
Okay.
think he's doing pretty good, man.
Is that updated for today?
Yep.
Like okay, so
well, I'm assuming 2023 standings on Google.
okay.
I'm assuming, but I mean, he's top
But he-
5.
but
I
he-
mean, I don't know how much he's going to change.
He still finished 5th. So I mean,
Chastain, Bell, and Byron all had good points days, so he's probably going to be pretty close. I
Yeah,
mean,
probably.
pretty close. So
all right, moving down to the next one, number 6, Michael McDowell.
surprising.
Yes.
What
Played
is
the smart game.
Where did he
Yep.
come from, dude?
That's what I'm
Hey,
saying, bro.
right.
I wasn't watching
He
it all
played-
day.
I was sitting here going like,
No,
wait a
no,
minute,
no.
this isn't a road course, right? Like, hold on. I don't expect Michael McDowell to show up unless
Y'all
it's
see
a
a
super
truck
speedway.
stop anywhere? All of a sudden, a Love's car shows up.
I'm like, where did this Love's car come from, dude?
Dude,
Nah, hey,
he had the same.
Was it a pit strategy?
It was the same as Barry.
So they
It
just
played
it
off.
just worked out.
Barry.
Yeah, that's
at
cool.
the
But again,
end, right before that
capitalized.
last caution.
Hats off to them guys, man.
Right before
Yeah.
that last caution by the 20. What was it? Tyler Reddick spinning. Barry and McDowell were the last two cars to pit. They got the caution and they came in and pitted. So,
Hats off to them
Man.
guys. Man.
Capitalizing,
That's all you
for
can
sure.
say.
I
yeah.
mean, you take a risk by doing it, but I mean, hey, in this
Hey,
case, it paid off.
You know what else too? Like he was like still passing and being aggressive. It's not like he got the position and then was getting passed and getting
Nope.
no, bro. He was racing good up
Yeah,
there.
he was.
Like,
That's the
come
nice,
on, bro.
dude. That's the thing I love about this next gen car is it really just kind of evens the playing field. Like guys like McDowell can go out there and actually still be competitive against these, these big boys, and so I think that's a really good for the sport.
Yeah.
Moving on to 7th, Joey Logano. I mean, Logano's Logano. I think that's not super surprising to me, but
he was all over the place today.
Yeah.
he was.
in
He
all
surprised me at the
fairness,
beginning, you know.
He was all over. He was up front, and then he went to the back. I think he
No,
was a
but
lap down
he
at
started-
a point,
he
and then
started
came
out-
back.
He started out back.
I do not think he was very consistent today at all.
Yeah.
I think he
Yeah.
was all
No,
over the
but the
place.
thing about Logano is he is really good about getting his car when working on it during the race. And
I mean,
getting
he
it better.
almost wrecked on like the first 10 laps. He was
That's what- but
3
that's-
wide, almost in the
That's
wall.
what I'm saying. It was they're really
he
good
get
about
in the
working
wall?
on it.
I couldn't tell if he
It was
in the wall,
close
but
because
No,
the
he was-
helicopter cam, right? But it was
Yeah,
close.
he was close.
yeah, it was real close.
I don't think he did, but yeah, it was enough. that-
Again, I mean, you can't, take a top 10, 7th place.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a bad point stay.
It's not
No.
bad.
Number 8, Alex Bowman, rounding out basically, with the exception of Byron, rounding out HMS all in the top 8.
I expected more from Hendrick.
I
agree.
I expected a little bit more out of Byron.
Me
Or,
too.
sorry, Bowman.
Bowman.
Yeah. I mean,
I expected more from Hendrick, period.
they won
honestly.
the race.
I know, but I'm
Not
talking
good
about
enough.
okay. Larson, okay, and I give you that. I mean, Hendrick came out on top, right?
Bro, you're not
But
even repping any
someone like Byron, right? Huge mistake, right? Cost him the race. Ended up after 20th, right? You have someone like Bowman. Last race, he finished what, 4th? Last race?
You want me to give you a stat?
That was last week, man. I forgot.
Bowman's still the points leader.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah.
The thing is, the thing I look at Bowman,
assuming these points are accurate.
I think
HMS
Bowman
hasn't-
should have been in the top 5. He should have finished top 5, in my opinion.
I
Maybe
feel
not
like
win the
I don't-
race.
I
but
don't know,
feel like
bro.
Hendrick in general they all should be in top 10.
I mean, well, okay, hold on. If you take out the 2 surprises of Josh Berry and Michael McDowell, that puts Alex Bowman in 6th. And those
Not
two,
good enough.
those okay.
Not good enough. I stand
hold
by my
on,
top
hold on,
5.
Matt. Do you want me to talk about who's in number 10th?
Don't say it.
We'll get to that one.
We'll see those words.
Brad.
Bad Brad.
No, but so I mean, if you take away those 2 surprises, he gets a top 6 finish. I mean, to me, that's what he was running.
It's not bad.
He wasn't like
Yeah.
by no means was the fastest.
Bowman is like that.
guess-
He runs right around 10th or right at the front.
Yeah.
You know, I'm glad to see him running good. He's way more consistent than he was last year. So this is
Consistency is
definitely
the
a step up
important
from
thing.
last year.
Yeah.
You know?
It's important to be
Last year
consistent.
he got
You know
one
what?
win and
He
disappeared.
yeah. You got 2 Hendrick cars. I mean 3
yeah.
top 10, which
Top
is
8.
great, right? Yeah, top 8.
And
which is
if
phenomenal.
Byron didn't have that spin, he would have been in the top 10.
I guess I'm just feeling the hurt of because I chose him.
I did too. I feel you, bro.
I really wanted Byron to win this race, man.
Yeah, he was definitely.
I really thought he was
He
going to
coulda
take
won.
this one.
I'm
Did
telling
you
you right.
really want to see Byron win, or did
I
you just
really
want
do.
to see another big?
I want to see Byron.
No.
Like we've been talking about Byron. I mean, like the hype around Byron even before since long, long before since you came. I mean, Byron's been talked about the next Jeff Gordon forever. I'm ready for him to step into that role
He's starting to
and be that
kinda
guy.
show
And
it.
I think this year you're starting to, dude, like he's fast every week.
Dude,
Every
he
week.
was, I mean, he was burning a lot of gas beginning of the race. Not a good strategy, right? Because the guys that are out front in the beginning of the race, most likely, I mean, unless it's a super speedway, they're not going to make it, right? And
Yeah.
so I feel like the
hard to
strategy
say,
there,
yeah.
the strategy there just wasn't smart. He should have preserved his gas. And I mean, when he let Larson out in front of him for most of stage
I think
2.
they were just playing games, man.
I thought they were playing games,
Playing
man.
games
I
all
don't
day.
know about that.
But I mean, like letting Bell spin him out. I was just
Letting Bell spin
Letting
him
him.
out.
Yeah.
Bell spin them out.
I don't
part
think
of the
that's how
script.
that works.
Come on, bro. Spin
All right.
me out.
Let's move on to number.
Come on, bro. Spin
Let's
me
move
out.
on to ninth position. That's Ty Gibbs. Baby
Okay.
Gibbs.
Okay,
Baby Gibbs.
here we go, bro. I know
Finally.
he had a top 10 last week,
Yeah.
but this is like more straight up. Last week was total chaos. So, but like this week, this is a straight up race.
Yeah.
This is a straight up NASCAR race.
Honestly,
He
I
did a
didn't.
good job
I
today,
didn't
man.
even see him through like the whole race, and then all of a sudden he gets
He
to
ran
top
like
10.
top 20 most of the day and capitalized
They
on the
didn't
end,
talk
man.
about him. They didn't
No.
talk about him at all on TV.
Yeah, if you're
No.
running top 20, I
And
mean,
you would think being a Toyota at this track at Richmond, like
the
he would get
Toyota
brought up.
Honors 400.
And his name
Yeah.
is Gibbs.
yes, that too.
But hey, it is what it is.
So
man.
he gets 9, and then and all hail the 10th place position, Brad Keselowski.
Bad Brad.
Man,
He earned it.
disappointing day from Brad because
No, he
well,
earned it.
from RFK. Brad ran pretty good, but
I thought he ran really
Chris
good.
Busher had some problems and stuff. Like
Yeah.
they've been on a definitely on a forward momentum.
Yeah.
And today they kind of plateaued or even dipped a little bit. So
Honestly,
You know.
I mean,
shout out to Brad, dude.
you only say that because you picked him.
Okay, but he worked his way up the field, dude.
Honestly, though, again, we were all making fun of Nate because we're like, bro, why'd you pick Brad
Yeah,
on a
that's
Why'd
true.
you
short
pick
track?
Brad? Why'd you
And
pick
then-
Truex?
And then he
What'd
gets
you
10,
doing?
And then I think he got stage points even. So I mean, like,
Did
we're
all
probably-
you drivers finish top 10? Oh no, you lost Byron.
Yeah,
Bum.
that's what I'm
Almost,
saying,
bro.
So like, again, I think that was a surprise, but I think I think he did. I think Brad did good. RFK, yeah, it struggled a little bit,
yeah.
Yeah,
but
I mean top 10 is pretty respectable.
I
He
mean,
didn't wreck out.
yeah,
You know,
exactly.
take it.
Anything from the local Brad Keselowski fanboy?
No, I mean it was a straightforward race. I mean there wasn't too much.
Yeah.
Something that I
Oh, looking
noticed
at
is
me.
that
I mean, you're like the guy, the Brad fan.
Hey man,
Got the Miller hat
yeah,
on.
man.
it's been an exciting week. Let's
dude,
just
he
say that.
said that he wants to make sure that he
Yeah.
sees the next race.
Yeah, that's
What's
pretty
up
cool.
with that?
It was an exciting. It was
Yeah,
an
so
exciting
we
race.
posted on social the video of Matt's story of trying to get his autograph, and not only did Brad retweet it and say, "Hey man, I hope we can meet up again," we also got the Buns guy to retweet it and say, "Hey man, I'm sorry,
bad, bro.
my bad, I was the Buns guy, my bad."
It was actually
Yeah.
it was an exciting day.
So
because, yeah, all
Buns
that
guy,
kinda came together.
if you're listening, hopefully we can meet up with you at some point too. That'd be awesome.
No, I will say, I think Brad Keselowski is universally loved in our group.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I mean, Atlanta, we were all rooting for him, man. We all wanted him to win so bad.
badly.
Yeah.
That would have been good.
Yeah,
All
that was
right.
super cool.
So moving on to our next topic that I wanted to talk about. So this is our first quote unquote real short track with the new short track package.
I
So
appreciate you with that beautiful clarification
Yes.
of real.
because we did get to see it at Phoenix, but Phoenix is Phoenix.
Phoenix.
So we'll leave it at that.
It's a 1 mile short track.
Yeah. So it's kind of like having a 1.5 mile super speedway. It's a super speedway. Not really.
Hey, easy now, easy now.
All right. So what do you guys think? The new short track package. We've seen it now at Richmond, which is probably the closest so far to like a real normal short track.
I thought it was great.
Anything?
Oh my
I
gosh,
did
it was
too, man.
amazing.
I thought it was a great race.
They were super loose, which is what we were looking for. Obviously, with them trying to reduce the downforce by 30% by the changes they made to the cars. I thought track position played a lot into it. Same with pits. I mean, it was an exciting race pretty much all the way through. Even the long runs. I mean, when you got to the long run portions of the race, you could see who was able to come in and save their tires, save their material,
Yeah.
and make their way to the front, like Bell, Hamlin. I mean, they're the reasons they won stage 2 is because it went pretty much caution free. I thought it was just straightforward. It was good short track,
yeah.
quote unquote short.
You had
track
a lot of
racing in
lot of
NASCAR.
tire fall off.
Yeah, you definitely
Made
saw
a
it.
huge difference.
Yeah, I mean, to me, this is the biggest indicator. It's been a long time since I watched a Richmond race. It was like, man, I'm looking forward to the next Richmond race.
Yeah.
You know, so like, I mean, I can't wait for the next one, man. This was pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm
thought it was-
excited to what the other short tracks look like.
Yeah, I agree, man. I really enjoyed this race. I felt like there was a lot of action coming out of stage 1. I mean, stage 1, it was like, was that the stage that 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 Blaney. No, I think that was stage 2. That Blaney.
Oh, I don't remember that.
The
Yeah, I
pit
remember
road,
the pit,
road incident.
Yeah, he lost his
Dude,
stuff.
that was so funny to me, man. I mean,
The best part was his crew member literally just going and jumping and trying to get it out of there as quickly as he can.
like,
So, question. I mean, maybe you guys heard, or if in case. I mean, I didn't. So maybe you guys did. Were they shifting during this race?
Ooh, I have no idea.
I mean, we were. I mean, just to give a little
Ooh, I don't know.
backstory.
we
we
don't know because they blur out the dashes.
easy now.
It doesn't have
I'm
to.
sorry.
They don't put the gear.
Type of
They
way
don't
about
I
it.
necessarily-
So-
know on
I mean, we
long
just had a party going on, so we didn't have opportunity to really
when they were
listen
going
to,
on
like,
the long runs, they
detail.
could full throttle it. I don't know what in gear, but they could go full throttle the whole time around. And then when they got new tires, they did have to lay off. But that was
surely-
the most I heard.
Surely they were downshifting.
I would think so.
So my concern is when we go to Martinsville, where they're definitely going to downshift, I'm worried that this aero package, isn't going to make a big enough difference.
So I don't know. The only thing I can think of is the problem I've heard with people saying that they're with the shifting is, you mess up, you drop a gear, and then you just take off. Is that going to eat up tires though quicker doing that kind of driving?
I mean, Martinsville.
Depends on the
So on
compound.
a lot of tracks, possibly, but Martinsville, you're going so slow around the corner,
That's true.
and it's concrete. On the
unless
corner.
your name's
On
Ross
the-
Chastain,
Yeah.
then you're breaking
Yeah.
the sound barrier around the corner. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that's going to play out. But yeah, I think overall, I think so far, based on Richmond at least, I think it was a pretty solid. I think the new short track package definitely helped.
One thing I definitely noticed was part failures. Saw a lot more part failures kind of come in play. Wasn't
You had
it?
what? Busher? No,
47. Stenhouse.
Yeah, but
did
Stenhouse.
his
I think
break.
it's
Stenhouse.
because he got in the wall.
he might have.
But he could have gotten in the wall because of a brake failure. I don't know if they really explained that
Yeah,
as well.
couldn't hear it
Yeah,
too much.
that's-
But
Like I
hey,
said, we had a lot going on, so it was hard
I
to
haven't
really
seen
dig into the
brake
details.
failures happen in a while.
Yeah.
Last
I
one
mean,
was
even
probably
if
what,
he did
Bubba?
get into it a little bit, it would be weird if the brakes.
The last
failed
one I
because of
remember
that.
they really brought it up, or they at least talked about it, was when Larson didn't brake going into turn 1 at
Indy.
That was
Indy.
wild.
But I don't
You know what?
remember the clarification if that was brake failure or if that
Or
was
if he
just
just
Larson.
missed
he
it.
just missed the corner.
I think
He just
missed
missed it.
Well, nobody's really come out and said, but people have shared the telemetry data and kind of
broke.
let people make their own
Yeah.
calculation.
And then other than that,
and yeah, it's pretty much.
I remember
made a
when
mistake.
the brakes blew up for what was it, Eric Almirola?
Oh, that was
remember
wild.
that years ago. It was like
Yeah.
what,
That was
2016, 2017 when Logano's brake just blew up in his car. Like you just don't see it very often anymore.
That's
so
true.
I thought that was interesting seeing the 47 have brake issues.
Yeah. So, all right, moving on to our next section, our About It section. So, for anyone just listening, the About It section is basically where we
Hold
have
on,
a time.
hold on. Is it about it or not?
yeah, it's not just
I'll let
body,
you
bro.
do the intros next
Can't
time.
just be about it. It has to be about it
No,
or
because
not.
we're only about things.
Oh my
Positivity.
God.
We're about it.
No, it's
I'm
either not
about it.
about okay. It's either about it or we're not about it. So basically, I will give out a topic for us to discuss, and we basically say whether we are about that topic or we are not about that topic. So, first one coming up is Daniel Suarez has been issued a fine of $50,000 for violating. I'm not going to read the section of the NASCAR rulebook concerning member conduct, but after making contact with another vehicle on pit road. So basically, at the end of COTA, he's coming into pit road. He hits Bowman while there's officials out on pit road.
To clarify, he did not get penalized for hitting Chastain outside of pit road, but for his contact specifically with Bowman.
That's
on
good,
pit road.
Good clarification. Yes.
Yeah.
So Matt, what do you think? Are you about it? Not about it?
Oh man.
And
so
specifically about the penalty.
the penalty.
Yes.
I am not about the penalty because it did not involve points. The only way you're going to get into these drivers' heads if you start messing with their point standings. I don't think it really matters how much money you're going to take away from them because these teams have a lot of money.
Did you see
Just
the
to
meme he
show up.
posted?
Yeah, like he drew a.
makes a joke about it.
real fast.
That's what I'm saying. He makes a
it's
joke
slap
about it.
on the. It's a slap on the wrist. I mean, it's not gonna hold up to anything. It's gonna be like, okay, here's my money. Here you go. Okay, next race.
It ends
I
up
just-
being
I don't see
a
it.
tax write off because it goes to charity anyway.
Yeah, like if the only way you're gonna get into these people's heads is if you start taking points away. And someone like Denny Hamlin, who got 25 points taken away.
Oh gosh.
And numerous other drivers, Hendricks, and I know we'll get into Hendrick later,
Yeah.
but the only way you're going to get into their head and actually get them to change it is by points.
Yeah. Go ahead, Nate.
Yeah, I'm about it. Why? Because at the end of the day, something that NASCAR always enforces is safety. You don't hit someone in pit road. Just the same as no one walks across pit road, right?
Yeah. You think the penalty was enough?
I think the penalty was enough. Just to pretty much let them know, like, hey, listen, you don't do that.
Yeah.
So
Someone could have gotten hurt.
So I'm also about it, the penalty, but I am totally against you. I think it wasn't enough. I'm with Matt.
Yeah.
I think you got to do some points because again, like Matt said, $50,000. I don't want to say
Gibbs lose points for hitting someone on
Dude.
pit road last year.
I don't remember if it was points.
He
or not.
lost points, but he was kind of on a probation, kind of, because he was already in trouble, and this was during an active green flag pit stop.
Tomato.
So a little bit different,
And this was
but
technically after the race was over.
yeah.
And
So-
at
But
the
it's
end of the
still
day,
an active pit road.
You got to
Yeah.
think about this, right? At the end of the day, $50,000 is $50,000, dude.
I agree.
Like, I mean, to the average Joe, $50,000 is whatever.
All right, so $50,000 to me is a lot more than $50,000 to Pitbull.
That's what I
And
said.
Mr. Worldwide don't care.
Right? But at the same time, it's still something, right? To let you know, even though, because you know what I am about? The drama in the sport. He was feeling a type of way,
Yeah.
right? And he wanted to let it be known, right? Which I understand. But at the same time, you got to let these guys know, hey, listen,
You can't do that with a car.
you can't do that,
He
dude.
should have just came out and rock 'em, sock 'em, robot, and just uppercut him.
Right? And
Hey, amigo.
that's the thing. I think one of the greatest things about the sport is the aggressiveness, right? And so that's why I'm not about the penalty, just because.
Wait, hold on.
Wait, you said you were about it.
You were about it.
Hold on, I'm not about. What did I say before?
You said you were about the penalty.
I was about the penalty.
You said it was enough, just the 50,000 and call.
I'm about the penalty, right? That was the whole.
Hold on.
thing.
I think you're confused.
I said I was about it before.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, so I'm about the penalty, and I think he
Did we just change your mind?
You guys confuse me all the time. Yeah, so
I mean, it is his first season.
I'm about the penalty, and he just needs to know that you just don't do these things.
All right.
All right, Jake.
I am about him getting penalized. I'm not about the quantity. These pit guys do not sign up to be put in a dangerous situation like that post race, man.
Yeah.
That ain't the officials, the pit crew guys. That's not fair, man. And when you watch the replay, if you can just imagine if he hits Bowman to the right and spins him out, I mean, he's gonna hit that official.
Oh, yeah.
That's horrifying, man. Going 40, 50 miles an hour. I mean, you're looking at probably a likely. I mean, you're looking at a life-altering injury and possibly fatal.
Could be.
So I mean I mean, I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm really pissed. I'm all for Bowman hitting. Suarez hitting Chastain
Yeah. Outside
prior
the
to pit road.
Yeah.
All about it.
To be fair, I think
Bowman-
he would have hit Bowman if he could have gotten to him quicker.
Okay, but you got to know when you're on pit road.
Once you get there, it's like all
it's
right, I
time to
missed it.
get out and
Go fight.
If you feel some kind of way, go let him know face to face.
Which he
It's
did.
because that's not fair to put people in danger.
But
man.
really-
and,
but did he really?
And the reason why I'm not about it is because his pit crew is not able to talk him down.
Yeah.
Because he's gonna be heated more than we can even imagine. But it is the spotters and the crew chief's job to talk to him. And if you gotta tell him you're on pit road, get out and let him know. Like if you gotta get that, like do that. But don't be hitting cars
And on
pit
top
road,
of
bro.
that,
no way.
We're also at Coda. He had to go around the entire.
He
track.
drove through the entire field.
Like that was not like a normal track where it's like all right, no. Like after a minute. Like this was probably like 3 to 4 minutes to him
Plenty of time to
to
cool him
cool
down.
down, and he just
And I don't blame him for being hot, but
I
you got to
get
be
it.
able to tell him, like, bro, if you're so mad, like, just get out and let him know with,
yeah, go out and fight him.
yeah.
And you know what?
Go out and tell them.
It could just be a publicity stunt, man.
Nah, I don't think so.
Nah.
Schwartz
I don't know,
gets
man.
hot, man.
No, I think
Schwartz gets hot.
the risk of there being points and stuff like that. I don't think that was. I don't think that was. publicity.
If I was
think he
that
lucked out.
official,
That's it.
But you
Yeah.
said it yourself.
if I was that official, I would be really disappointed.
how much
Yeah.
how much time did he have to cool off, dude?
plenty.
of time.
That's what I'm
Plenty
saying.
of time to say if I don't get to him, before,
It's
I'm
not
gonna let
worth-
him know on pit road.
Okay.
Like I'm gonna grab him and let him know. I'm gonna be like, grab all the boys.
Grab his
We're
amigos.
gonna
Grab
meet
the
on
amigo.
pit road, bro. Like, so you don't know, bro. It's been full brawls, pit
But
crew
that's
versus
what I'm
pit
saying.
crew.
So why not let it be that?
I agree.
think it's,
Should've been.
it's
100%.
Don't do it
cowardly
anymore.
It's cowardly that you would use your car knowing
On
that
pit
your
road.
car can do damage.
Yeah,
It's like
bro.
Harvick even brought it up. He's like, when was the last time you actually saw someone get popped in the face? It's
Yeah.
like, it doesn't happen.
I remember
It
when
doesn't
Clint
happen.
Boyer
He's like, back
freaking
in
wore.
the 90s. He's like, yeah, back
No,
in the 90s.
no,
that
no.
was
Remember
it.
when Clint Boyer wore
Was it
Ryan Newman out?
That was intense.
Bro, he gave him like 3 or 4 right hooks to the
Yeah.
face while
All
he
right.
was still in the car.
Moving on to from that topic, talking about the Hendricks penalty being rescinded partially. Yeah. So they have rescinded the driver points. So the 100, they get their 100 points back. However, the crew chiefs are still that suspension is gonna be in place, and the fines and the money and stuff like that are still going into place. But they get the drivers' points back. So
And the owner points.
and the owner points.
Yep.
So they're all basically now they're back in the standings where they should be and everything.
Minus $400,000.
Yeah, which let's be honest, let's be real. Hendricks can afford it. All right, Jake, I'll let you go first.
I'm not sure, man. Honestly, I'm not sure. The best explanation I've heard so far was the drivers didn't break the rules, the teams did, so there shouldn't be a driver's points penalty. I'm like, that's kind of a good point. I'm kind of by that. But at the same time, you cannot allow these cars. The whole next gen is supposed to even the playing field and make it spec. And now you've basically shown you can cheat and it's going to cost you money and not points.
Yes.
And that's if
Every
you get
single
caught.
team who has money is going to do this. So for that fact, I'm not about it. So I don't know. I'm literally right down the line. I'm about it because it seems fair to the drivers, not about it because I'm afraid of what precedent they've just set.
So with the rescinding of the points, I am not about it. It kind of comes back to the same thing I was saying with Suarez. The only way you're going to get through to these teams, these drivers, these manufacturers is taking away points, because at the end of the day, that point standings is what gives them a pretty big bonus.
Points are worth more than dollars, man.
Yep.
Always. So by them saying, "Hey, keep the money, but you're gonna get your points back," they said it best. I can't remember who tweeted it, but someone tweeted it. It says it's gonna be lawless. It's going to be
Should
wild.
it even be a penalty?
For what?
They found it in a not. I mean, like a voluntary style inspection.
They
It was
found-
not. It was not inspection. It was the garages were open and the officials came by and found something. It was not like they were rolling the cars through tech and they found it. It was the garages were open, teams were working on the cars before inspection, and they found it. So it's
Did it
man,
match
it's
up
kinda
with
gray area, man.
NASCAR's rules?
But they didn't race, they didn't run tech, they didn't they didn't do anything before they found it.
So I'll say this.
Which the precedent is, if that happens, they pull the part off and tell you to replace it. That's the precedent.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Well,
This
I didn't
this
know about that.
monetary fine is not the precedent.
So here's my issue with it, and so I'll say that I am not about it, because I think, again, going back to having fines where it's just money, to me just isn't as big of a deal. It doesn't send the message, doesn't hurt as much.
Right.
So but my issue was this necessarily something that should have been a fine to begin with? Because the thing is they claim, NASCAR claims, that the reason that they had to pull this was because they believe that Hendricks was doing this for a competitive advantage.
Right.
The week they pulled him off, Hendricks went 1-2.
I will say too, the appeals panel did not disagree that the parks were illegally
And that
messed
was
with.
that's my point though. Like, I mean, is it really a competitive advantage if you take it away and I still go 1-2 in the race?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's pretty
so
gray.
so
are you about it or not? What do you say?
I'm not about it just because I don't like penalties when it's not so the
So
rescission.
you think it shouldn't have been a penalty from the get go?
I honestly could not tell you because I just don't know enough of the details about
Yeah.
it. But to be honest, based on what I know, I don't think it should have been the penalty it was. But I don't like penalties that are not points based. I think,
But at the same time, NASCAR does say don't show up with this crap.
like with a T-Rex car.
Well, they just said don't come back with this thing.
But again, like something like that, like was it wrong? Like was it was
For reference,
and
since you don't know, for reference, the T-Rex car, All-Star race,
geez, years
90s
ago.
probably. Jeff Gordon showed up with a car with a Jurassic Park paint scheme. They call it a T-Rex car. He basically almost lapped the entire field. And NASCAR said, don't ever bring that car back here.
they figured something out. I don't know
They
what it
figured
was.
all the gray areas of the rule book.
They figured something out. And
And
NASCAR's
NASCAR's
no.
like, I don't want to ever see that car. They're like, but it's not illegal. It will be next week. Don't ever bring it back.
Yeah.
see, those are the things that make me think. It's like, and that's why, you know what? Out of all you guys, I'm about it.
You're about
Really?
the penalty?
I'm about it.
You're about the penalty or about the reduction?
No, I'm about the reduction.
Yeah.
Why?
Okay.
Because let's think of the initial what's it called? The initial penalty.
Yeah.
Right? It's like what Krause said. They were just trying to make it fit. You know what I mean? Like
I don't know about that. Someone drank the Kool-Aid.
Listen, they were trying to make it fit. It fit.
Nah, even the appeals panel said it was definitely illegal.
I
They
don't know.
definitely made it to an advantage.
Yeah.
I mean, but if you're going to modify it to fit, it's never going to be, I modified it and it's going to give us a disadvantage. It's always
Yeah.
going to be modified to an advantage.
100%. I mean, who wouldn't?
Exactly.
Right. That's true.
But at the end of the day, they're trying to make it
I
fit,
think-
dude. Like,
I almost think I think the appeals panel made the right choice.
yeah, I can agree.
You know you're not supposed to show up with it. Here's a huge monetary fine, but you didn't get any competitive advantage throughout the race, so you're not going to get points.
That's probably a fair.
I think they did
That's fair.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm still not about it.
no,
I still think they still should have lost points.
but
Maybe not as drastic as what they had.
But something. Well, you didn't bring it up. I don't think on the podcast, but you were saying you read something or whatever, and someone made a comment that like this isn't necessarily the driver's fault, and the
I
drivers.
said that a few minutes ago.
Did you? Okay, I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
But that's a good point. Like
That's
the
a
fact
good
that it's the drivers were the ones that were getting basically
I don't-
kicked out of a championship.
I totally do not disagree with the crew chief suspension.
You don't agree with it?
I agree with the crew chief suspension.
Okay.
Yes, sorry, I might have said that weird. I totally agree with that because they knew what they were bringing was
Yeah.
a little sus.
Yeah. Yeah. They knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on to our next topic. So Hamlin intentionally wrecking JJ Yaley.
Here we go.
Did I say it right? Yaley?
Yep.
Action
Thank God.
detrimental.
Only.
Can't wait for that podcast.
All right, Nate. Why don't you go first then?
Yeah, I'm about it, man. At the end of the day, he was racing hard. You know, Yaley was in the way. Gotta get him out, bro. I mean,
Yeah.
who is he anyway, dude?
I mean, I'm about it
Who
too.
is he anyway? Oh my God.
I mean, let's be real, dude.
I'm about it. I mean, JJ Yaley doored him, and then I mean, he got in his door and shoved him up in another car, and Hamlin gave him a little bump, and Yaley couldn't handle it, man. And
It's aggressive
Sorry,
driving.
bro.
What's the bet on what he talks about on his podcast and not mentioning, hey, buddy, you're coming with me?
man, my brakes just weren't working right that corner.
You know he's going to call
I
us.
wonder what he's gonna say. Yeah,
No, so if I had to give one, I'd say that I'm not about it. I don't like drivers intentionally wrecking, especially when
He
it's
just gave him a
no
little love bump, bro.
No. The thing is,
he
you're
just pulled a
Denny
Bubba,
Hamlin,
bro.
Excuse
you're
me,
in,
sir.
You're in Joe Gibbs equipment, and you're racing against JJ Yaley, and
Bro, speeding penalty though. He was in the back. because
you're
of the speeding
gonna
penalty.
pass him. Like, come on, you're
Nah,
gonna get
bro.
by him
But why JJ Yaley got to door him?
because it's probably the only chance he has.
Bro,
Take out other
if
people.
you run into me, I'm gonna run into you.
yeah.
No, okay, that's fair.
Eye for an eye. Bumper for a bumper. See ya later.
That was the case when Bubba
I want
did
to
it
know
to
where
Larson.
I want to know where that verse is.
When Bubba did it to Larson last year, what were people saying?
Oh, that's way different.
No, that's
Chill, bro.
No, man.
No,
It's the
that's
same
way
thing.
different.
But Larson gets loose.
Dumping somebody.
Tick for tat.
No, right hooking somebody into a wall at 180 is way different than 90 at a short track, bro.
Totally different.
So I didn't really see the incident, so I'm just kind of going off of it. But I mean, it is what it is. It's short track racing.
Short
Logano
track.
said it best.
All right, Logano.
Short track racing.
Oh,
No,
God.
you got a point though. All right, so next topic. We have now got 6. Well, this was prior. Or hold on. How many races have we had this season now? Because I don't remember if I wrote this down.
7.
So 7 races. So we now have 6 winners in 7 races.
6 wieners.
Wow.
Well,
Keep it PG, please.
I did. I just said winners.
Yeah, say the words, please.
stop talking like Suarez.
I will. Oh, you're.
Nobody got that
No.
reference.
Listen, I can say that I'm
DJ.
Hispanic. I'm Hispanic. All right, for everyone that doesn't know.
There's like one other dude listening to it that's just like, yes, I know that reference. Yeah, shout out to you.
The wiener. Okay, go.
So I'll start. So I'm about it, man. It's 6 winners in 7 races. I mean, we're looking like a repeat of last year, where we're gonna have a ton of winners throughout the season, and getting a win may not be enough to get you into the playoffs. So I mean, I think it's totally. I love it. I love it. I think it's great.
I'm about it, man. I think if you want to be in the playoffs, you better plan on winning a race.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm about it too. This is what it takes. You gotta have what it takes, man. At the end of the day,
So I'm not about it. I just want one team, one car to win the entire season.
Of course.
He just wants Brad.
His name is Brad Keselowski.
he wants him to sign his buns.
This is absolutely
Hawaiian
the worst,
King for life.
The worst type of racing. No, just joking.
Did you buy
just joking.
Hawaiian King buns for lunch today?
I did.
You should have. Good. I'm
In
glad.
honor.
Right.
But no, how could you not be about it? The
Exactly.
competition, the competitive edge. I mean, you're seeing a lot of cars come out there, make strides, get their wins. I don't know.
Strads. No, strads. They're making good strads.
I said strides.
No,
Oh, sorry.
I heard Streds.
Oh,
Or
sorry.
strads.
Sorry, strides. But they're making their strides towards the front, getting their wins. I don't know if we'll exactly get to 16 different winners, but I definitely see between 12 and 14.
I think we get to 16, bro.
I think we're gonna be
Think so?
close.
It's gonna be rough.
We're on track.
I mean, 6 winners, 7 races. It wouldn't
Just think
take
about
much.
who hasn't won yet.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Chase Elliott, Bowman.
well, he's not even
Hamlin?
racing, so
Well, he will be. He will be.
Hamlin
He's
hasn't
still
won
really
yet.
Hamlin.
pretty.
Truex.
Logano's won one, right?
Austin Dillon
Harvick,
usually
Can I be
sneaks
honest?
in a win.
I don't expect much from Hamlin this year.
What?
Hamlin's
is-
going to win.
He'll win something.
He'll
Oh,
probably
yeah.
win 1 or 2.
Watch him come out next week. and
Hamlin
just like,
is Hamlin is definitely on the
He's not.
list of probably greatest drivers to never win a championship.
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
But
I
he's
think so.
he's a has been.
Oh, God.
Oh,
Honestly,
Then he has been?
let's talk about it. I mean, he's not showing signs that he wants to win this year.
I would say it's a struggle for him because he's trying to run a team as well as be
Yeah.
a competitive race car
You
driver.
can definitely
That's
see
true too.
the divide in his
that's actually
on track performance.
that's a good point.
But
And
I would
since
say,
he started
but,
the team,
but
he
Gibbs
hasn't
is
been.
not running great.
Mm.
They're running good. They're mid, but they're not running great.
I say Bell's their best driver right now.
Yeah,
100%.
into last season, definitely, and I mean,
Beginning of this year?
yeah.
Yeah.
Especially like this
And
race.
that
Like,
20 car is not supposed to be the best car out there.
no.
Bell ran
You know,
really
that's
good
kind of
today.
that prototype, that starter car. So
Yeah.
it's kind of weird seeing Bell being the
To
leader.
give you
Yeah.
an idea, Bell is third in points with 229. Truex is ninth. That's the second Joe Gibbs car with 198.
Wow.
Wow.
So I mean, that's almost head and shoulders above
Yeah.
anybody
Yeah,
else.
that's a huge difference.
It's a lot less experience.
All right. So moving on to our next and very last topic for the About It or Not About It. NASCAR running non-companion races. So basically where they have the truck race in a different location of the cup race. So like for this week, for example, it was the trucks were out in Texas. The cup race was obviously over in Richmond. So this is, are we about NASCAR doing this and keeping this practice, or are we about that? Matt, go ahead.
So I like it. I am about it. There's a few things I'm not about, but obviously things strategically have to take place. I thought the truck race was really good. I watched it. I thought it was a good race. I liked that it was at a different track because it was almost like you were watching a whole new week of racing. You know, it's not like, oh, well, I'm watching Richmond again for the third time this week. You know, so I thought it was nice seeing a little bit of difference there. Things I don't like, the non-competitive pit stops. They red flag everything and they just let everyone pit. Again, I get it. All the drivers are at Richmond and all the pit crews are at Richmond, but it's just not fun for the viewer at home. And then the spotters were all different too, so it was kind of weird.
Yeah, Nate.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm about it for pretty much the same reason. I didn't watch the truck race, and shout out to the number 5 man. I hope he's doing well.
Yeah,
that was a really bad wreck.
That was a nasty wreck.
Yeah, man, he really took a shot this weekend. So just man, shout out to him. Hope he's doing well. But honestly, I for the same reason, like you feel like you're in another race, which is pretty cool.
You know?
Yeah, it's entertaining, and I mean that's the goal of the sport, to make it entertaining and to please the viewers. And so having another race,
Suarez was doing, or not Suarez, sorry, the 2 driver. What was the
Sanchez?
Sanchez, thank you.
Sanchez
was running great.
was it Nick Sanchez?
And then Hocevar
Sanchez.
just came through there, and he just snuck through and got that win. And
Yeah.
I was like, all right,
Hey,
take it.
Sometimes that's what you got to do. You got to be there and make the opportunity.
Hey, third
So
is one
it's-
of the most opportunist spots to be in.
Opportunistic spots.
It's cool
yeah.
because you can detach yourself from Richmond, you know?
Right.
And unfortunately, seeing the Xfinity before, right? Normally we see the truck race before, but seeing the truck race after is like, you know, you detach yourself from Richmond. It's like, oh, this is another race going on. Different track, right? Different.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but they didn't show practice or qualifying for trucks.
Super trash.
Yeah.
Why? They literally say on the app,
I
on
don't know,
FS1. I was like, I want to watch it.
Here's my thing.
Yeah.
I
I'm off
understand
on Saturday. I wanna
FS1 or FS2, you may not have time, but you have a freaking app, bro.
Yes.
Yeah.
Put it on the app like NBC does with Peacock. Okay, we don't have time to put all the IndyCar stuff on, but this couple practice sessions, we're gonna put it on Peacock. Bro, the top 3 series of NASCAR cannot go untelevised.
Why? Why would
So
it's-
trash, bro.
Yeah.
No.
I'm not, and this is Fox because NBC, I don't think does this.
You know what, Fox? We're not about you.
Easy, but you're not wrong. But it was better today with Larry Mack in the booth.
Oh,
Thank you,
man.
Yeah.
Yes.
God. Please bring Larry Mack
America's
for the rest of the
crew
season.
chief.
Oh,
So okay. Let's go ahead and let's talk about that for a quick second because otherwise we'll forget. So something that happened was it was the Blaney,
The Blaney
with-
situation.
Blaney with
Yep.
the wedge adjustment.
I would have never known.
So Nate didn't have any idea about that, right? So like we were starting to explain it, and then Larry Mack comes on. They have the cutaway car. They start showing how that part of the broadcast was awesome.
see, and that's classic old school NASCAR. But here's the thing, because Nate's new and the way they haven't been doing the broadcast, we felt like the only way Nate's gonna know is if we explain it. That's some bull crap, bro.
And to be honest,
you
we didn't
need
do
that
it.
graphic,
And
bro.
to be honest, we didn't do it justice, did we?
Yeah. it
Compared
was
to
after-
that?
Yeah, it was actually seeing it
Yeah.
that made me
Like, figure it
actually,
out.
like it was a thing of like the pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
The whole thing.
I could understand like, okay, they're adjusting the shock in some way, but like actually seeing the graphic of the pressure being built into the shock,
Yeah.
it's like, oh wow, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Exactly.
And so it gives you a different perspective as someone that's new to the sport. You see those type of things, and it's like it makes you love it even more, man.
yeah.
And honestly, shout out to that part of the broadcast because it opened up a new perspective for me.
Yeah. So going back to the non-companion thing, I just wanted to make sure we hit that because I thought
Yeah.
that was really important.
That was good.
So going back to the non-companion thing, I am not about it. I think it's for us. It's okay. Like and Nate, I count you in this group now because you're really jumping into this. So like I don't count you as like a casual NASCAR fan anymore. Like you're in it.
If you're learning about wedge, you're not a casual fan anymore.
Yeah, fair enough.
You've crossed the line. What's that wrench for?
But my thing is like, and I think it's just confusing for average drivers and like the
Drivers?
average viewers.
The
Fair
average driver out
The
there.
average driver.
What's a wedge?
I don't know.
Open the door.
I don't know what's going on.
I feel
So
rather average
I feel
today.
like that's an issue. I feel like you had not, obviously trucks use a lot of guys from the Cup and from Xfinity, and obviously they're not going to have their A team there, so you're already at a weakness there.
Yeah.
You don't have your regular spotters. And Matt, I think it was you were telling us a lot of these guys are using IndyCar spotters.
Yeah, they came on. I think the only truck driver that had his regular spotter was Matt Crafton during that race.
And see, that's got
And
to
I'm
be
just
hard.
taking that right off of the broadcast, what they were saying.
You're using a guy that you don't have any relationship or trust built up with that guy. Like, how do you know like he's going to
They were
call
all
it the way I
IndyCar
want
spotters. They said most of them were IndyCar spotters.
And I mean, it's not like they don't know what they're doing, but once you kind of have a routine worked out with your guys,
I'd forget the number. I'd be honest. If I was jumping two different numbers and I was a spotter, I'd be like, what's your number again? All right, I got you. All right, there you are.
Yeah,
All right,
really,
you're
really
doing
assuring.
good. Oh my
So
God, you're in
yeah,
last?
so I'm not about it just because I think it's just unnecessary. But I do understand, and I think there is some advantage of running it a different place because, for example, if you were out in Texas, you got to see an IndyCar and a truck race. That's kind of cool. But I just think overall, I'm just not about it. I think they should keep them all together. Jake.
I am so about the IndyCar and truck doubleheader. It's super cool, but I am not about non-live pit stops.
Yeah.
I'm just not about it. Regardless of the truck race and different spotters, that's a completely different thing. But I blame that on the driver, not so much the spotter. But like, I mean, I love live pit stops, man.
It's exciting.
So
It's going to be sad again. I think next week they're going to do the same
if you
thing.
can afford to bring a pit crew, you should have the advantage.
Yes.
What's the difference? Oh, this Cup team can afford to hire the best guys versus, whoever. Cody Ware. You think they got the best guys? No. So, like, I don't know, man. Like that part of it,
So real quick,
I don't like non-live pit stops.
jumping
but the
into next
race
week.
was phenomenal. It was chaotic and great. So
real quick, next week, Dirt Bristol. Are they going to have live pit stops?
I
Because the
don't think
last
so.
2 years they haven't.
I don't believe so. But that's completely different.
But to the viewer at home,
It's a dirt race though. It's
I like
totally
watching
different.
those live pit stops.
Yeah, but it's completely different.
It is.
I'm still going to be
We'll
missing it.
talk about
But I'm
Bristol.
still going to
Yeah.
be missing it.
Yeah, we got that coming up. So, all right. So that's it for our About It section.
Ooh, real quick.
Go ahead.
The Xfinity race winner, was it Chandler Smith? The 16 car?
Yep.
Freddie Kraft was spotting that driver, man. That's good for Freddie. That was cool.
Yeah.
Just real quick, throwing it out there.
Anyway.
Wow, Freddie.
Yeah. All right. So moving on to our next section. This is the question of the week. So we have our number 2 fan. Sorry, Ryan, you're not quite good enough to be up to number 1 because Grandma beats you out every time. But Ryan, you are number 2. I appreciate it. So Ryan Kuzman out on Twitter, he asked us a question. He said, "Do we think that Ryan Blaney will get back to being a top 5 or to 10 place driver every week like he seemed to be 2 weeks ago?" What do you guys think?
I think he will, but it'll depend on the car. He just doesn't seem to have like that elbows out, screw everybody else mentality. Say like a Joey Logano, Ross Chastain, I mean, pick any number of guys that have that mentality. But I think it'll be an ebb and flow. So yes, he will, but it'll come and go.
Yeah. I've been watching Race for the Championship finally. Like I didn't get a chance to watch it when it came out live, and I've been going through it, and they were talking about, obviously a big storyline was Ryan Blaney was getting into the playoffs and all that stuff last year. And they were like, if you look at his year last year, it was one of his best, and it was an extremely consistent and good year.
But he didn't win.
And
Except
that was
for the All-Star race, which
was his window net up or not? And so, every time we got to bring that up.
Yeah. There's an asterisk right there.
Yeah, window net maybe. So I mean, if you take that away, he's honestly, other than the win category, he is a pretty consistently good driver. I just don't know. I think he's going to get it. I just think it's maybe a slump or something. I don't know. So I think he will, because I don't think he's really ever dropped back. He just hasn't got his win that he normally gets. He normally gets 1 or 2 wins a year.
So yeah, I think with Blaney, he's been struggling lately, just in the new car in general.
This is true.
I mean, last year, he was struggling. He would run it too high, hit the wall, cut a tire, and then when it wasn't his fault, it would kind of be more pit side related. You know, malfunction stuff was going on. He had bad pits, and I think that's kind of what came down to it this week. I mean, he was. I don't want to say he was up there,
he seemed
but
decent this week.
Again, pit road.
But yeah,
that threw him through a slump, and he couldn't recover. So I hope the best for Ryan. I think he needs to get a little bit more like mind over matter, but he'll get it. I think we'll get it.
You know what they say?
He'll get his win this year.
If you don't mind,
I just don't know when.
It don't matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that is. I think the phrase. I think that's what I was told.
I haven't heard that one, so
Yeah, I
that's new
think
to me.
Okay.
like deep down, I expected more from him this race. I thought he was gonna do a lot better than he did, but I mean, he didn't finish well.
No,
and so he's just got to prove himself.
Neither did Cindric.
Yeah,
I don't know. Something's off with Penske. Besides, with the exception of Joey Logano.
Yeah.
They're not firing on all cylinders, man. And they got good people and good cars and good drivers.
they got to dial
Something
it in.
is not clicking there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I mean, you look at. No, I was gonna say, man, SHR has been in a slump too, but I think
They still are. Besides Kevin Harvick.
Kevin Harvick and Briscoe, I think, shows flashes.
What's Cole? Not Cole Custer.
Ryan Preece,
Preece, man.
he was good
But
today.
he's still kind of new.
Yeah.
But then Almirola, I mean, but they're very mid. Not bad, but very mid.
Yeah, they're not. They're not.
You're
top tier.
a top level team,
Yeah,
and man, what happens when Harvick retires, bro?
they're in trouble
They're in trouble.
unless Briscoe all of a sudden
They
comes
need
out.
to be thinking who they can go out and steal.
yeah.
Yeah,
Who are you gonna go get?
that'll be a fun point to talk about a little bit later in the season. With free
Man, I
agents.
bet Tony is so mad they didn't get Kyle Larson.
Ooh. Yeah, because he did. Nate probably don't know about that.
You know about that?
Very little.
So basically, when Kyle Larson got dropped because he used a racial slur on iRacing and it went viral.
Yeah, I know about.
Right. Tony Stewart wanted to hire him, but Ford basically shut it down. They said, no, we're not going to hire this guy. You're not going to be able to sponsor him. We're not hiring this guy. He's a PR nightmare. And so Hendrick said, I'll sign him and I'll sponsor him for every race.
We'll take it.
And then comes
He
out
goes into
dominant.
And he's a
9
monster,
races
bro.
in the championship. The next
10.
year. 10.
It was 10 in the championship. Yeah,
Yeah,
Dominated.
dude,
wild.
it's insane.
But Tony wanted him bad.
And he won
Because
this
Tony Stewart's a dirt racer and so is Kyle Larson. So they he knows. He knows he's a monster.
he knew that was going to be his setup. He could have locked him in. So yeah, that would have been something. So all right, moving on to last thing we're talking about next week. Next week we are at Dirt Bristol, but not us, but like NASCAR.
You
we're
know,
not going
I'm kind of starting to turn a leaf on Dirt Bristol.
for the good or for the worse.
I wish no for the better. I wish we had a spring Bristol race, but the attendance was so bad. You know, I heard I was very vocal about being about the chaos last week, and I heard Mike Davis on Dale Jr.'s podcast talking about this is what NASCAR is.
Yeah,
We've always been fist out, elbows out, fenders out, beating, banging, all that. And man, you know what? I'm kind of about it, bro. And I hope next week is pure chaos.
Yeah.
I want it to be chaos.
Last year's Dirt Bristol was actually really fun. It was a
It
good
was.
race. It was a really good race. I think they put together. I think the car works well there. So, I mean, who knows how it's going to go? Who knows who's going to be up front? I just hope we don't miss out on any practice or anything like that. So,
yeah. As long as the weather
Weather
holds up. I think
permitting.
last year's weather really kind of messed with the ability of the track and like just in general. So I think as long as the weather stays pretty good, I think we'll be in for a pretty good show.
Hey, hats off to NASCAR and Fox moving this to a night race, bro.
Yeah.
This was like the only dirt race in the country all year that ran at day, which was so dumb. Like there's a reason why they run dirt races at night. So hats off to them to making the right changes. I think this could be the best Bristol dirt race we've seen so far.
So what do you? How do you guys? Are you guys still like? How are you guys feeling about the dirt race in general at Bristol?
I love.
Because I love.
I wouldn't mind 2 dirt races a year.
I think dirt racing is kind of cool. I get why some drivers are like, the drivers that complain about it are the ones that don't do well at it.
This
That's
is
kinda
true.
Yeah.
Like you hear Harvick like, it makes the sport look old. You know,
Yeah.
we're going back to moonshining days, and then you got Kyle Larson and Bell that are like, I think it's great.
But then they wrecked that on lap 20.
Yeah. So I mean, like, you know, you have the dirt racers that love it. So I
You
I
know what,
think
man?
it's good.
We love Formula One. We love IndyCar. We love NASCAR. We love. I mean, we're sitting here on the background. We have drag the NHRA right now. Like, we love racing. But the reason why NASCAR is my favorite, because the schedule is so diverse.
Especially now.
Nobody can even touch this.
Well-
Street courses, road courses, short tracks, intermediate
Rovals.
ovals, super speedways. I mean, and now we have
You
dirt
gotta be
racing.
good. You have to
Bro,
be good
like
at all of
it's
them.
7,
Yeah.
8 different kind of racing, and all the ovals at NASCAR are completely different.
Yep.
Yeah.
Texas and Charlotte are nowhere near the same.
It's not the same because like
I love the diversity.
You have people to also like I have friends of mine that don't understand. They're just like, oh, they're just driving around in a circle. I'm like, you don't even understand. I don't have 3 days to explain to you why this circle is better or different than this circle. Like, or that's not a circle. Wait until I tell you about the triangle.
yeah, really. I forgot about this. I forgot about triangles.
We
I'm gonna-
race on a triangle.
It's the most diverse schedule. And you know what, man? I'm about it, bro.
I love it because I think it really, because I always, especially growing up, like I was not as into NASCAR growing up as like a kid. I always just kind of thought that same kind of mentality, like they're just driving in circles. But like looking at it now, I'm like, dude, they have to be such good drivers to be able to drive all of those different disciplines.
I mean, you see it last week. You had two Formula One champions.
2 Formula One champions, IMSA champion, an IndyCar driver,
Yeah, bro.
and
them
they didn't
dudes
stack up.
I
They
mean,
couldn't hang.
it is their house, but I mean, like the Jordan Taylor, dude, he's a beast,
Yeah.
and they made him look small.
And what'd he say? He mentioned it himself. He was like, these guys are
Rough,
yeah,
Dude,
these
like-
guys are like in
So-
it.
but they're
the
good.
thing-
They're not just rough. They're
The
good.
thing with
You have to
Jordan
be
Taylor,
100% the whole time.
the thing with Jordan Taylor too is like he's been driving at COTA in the Garage 56 car, like for Le Mans, testing it.
What I
So
loved
it's
about
not like he didn't know the track. It's not like he wasn't super familiar with the car. It's the same,
Yeah.
similar-ish car. So I mean, he should have been right up there, and he couldn't quite hang.
what I loved about Jensen was like he
loved it.
He was in shock. Like, bro, these guys go 100% every single corner, every single lap. There's nobody rides ever. And he's like, Formula One, we get in our spots and we kind of ride. Man, so he's like, nobody does it. He's like, they literally balls to the wall every single second. He's like, it's exhausting.
Yeah.
and I'm about it.
Wait till the Coke
I am
600.
too, bro.
I can't wait for next week. This is I mean, as everyone knows, this is my first full NASCAR season, right? And
Really?
so
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that. Yeah. Interesting.
So, man, Bristol Dirt. I've heard so much about it, and I just really can't wait. It's
gonna be
It's a
wild.
special race.
Last year, the only thing with last year's race wasn't last year the one where it was like kind of weird because there was like a rain delay and people stayed out.
Yeah.
And there was a little confusion there. That was a massive problem. Obviously, that's probably not going to happen again because that was just like a caution happened at the end of a stage and people didn't know how the stage timing would work.
Yeah, that was super weird. It was an unfortunate timing.
And unfortunately, that's not that. I highly doubt that's going to happen again. It's very unlikely, but that was an issue. But overall, I thought once they were actually like racing, with the exception of the single file restarts, which I personally didn't like.
Ugh,
I thought
they were
that just kind of killed the
yeah, but
excitement.
that goes back to you shouldn't have been running the Bristol Dirt Race in the day.
That's
You know,
that's true.
So-
Based off of prior Bristol Dirt races, do you think that there's going to be a lot of unexpected twists?
I'm
to the race?
expecting chaos, bro.
Yeah,
After what we saw at COTA, I'm expecting chaos.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm down.
These cars are holding together a lot better than they did last year.
Love
So
it.
yeah, there's
are they still running? Because at the Bristol Dirt they do run a slightly different body. Are they still running
The
that?
body's the same. I think they lose the under wing.
No, I thought the body they modified it where like the outside edge they push it out a little bit,
I couldn't say.
No,
I don't know.
I don't know. I
or
don't
they
think so.
or they
I'm
or is it they
pretty
move
sure
the
they get-
spoiler so that way if it does get damaged, it doesn't affect the spoiler. There is something.
Not sure.
There was something I remember they
We'll
made
definitely
a
have
big
to
deal
do
about.
our research and study a little bit this week, getting
Yeah.
ready for it.
I don't
But
remember.
I do think you're right, man. I don't think there's live pit stops this week. I don't know how you can because
Hey, I get it. I'm not arguing it.
Yeah.
I miss live pit stops.
I kind of like running the dirt format. So Nate, obviously you don't know, but they run more of a dirt format, heat races, all this different thing for positions and all this stuff, and then the truck race does a companion race this weekend too. So we'll have a truck dirt race Saturday night.
Okay.
So
It's not at Bristol though, right?
yeah,
Oh, it's at Bristol?
Yep.
Trucks are
Okay.
cool in dirt.
I
Hey,
thought the trucks
bef-
ran at a different dirt track.
they
Before
used to.
They used
before we call it, Haley Deegan,
She survived.
Not bad. Not a bad day.
she's done her best
I still offer.
since
Yeah.
the season started.
I mean, look, I want Haley Deegan to be good. I want her to do well. I'm rooting for her. But I think in that particular race, she just managed to survive.
yeah.
So I don't know that I want to give her that much credit.
She's
in this
showing
race,
improvement though.
but I mean,
Yeah.
the finish position is still the finish position. You still finish where you finish.
This is true.
So I mean, hey, props for her for playing that game if that's what they played or
Dude,
whatever.
the truck race was so good.
Yeah.
I love the truck race. That was a great race at Texas. It has me thinking there might be hope for Texas come from the fall.
Maybe.
I mean, that was a baller race, man.
So awesome. You guys want to say anything before we wrap it up?
Yo, man, shout out to Kuzman, bro. He's
Yeah.
the whole reason why Brad shared that and got us all the views and all the
Really?
true.
publicity.
Is that why?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Shout out to that guy, man.
And shout out to Matt for wanting Brad's autograph.
Yeah.
but not
the
bringing
forgotten
not
child.
bringing the good buns.
The forgotten child in the middle actually ended up getting a retweet by Brad and a lot of views and a lot of conversation starters. So, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
man.
I'll take it as a win.
Yeah,
Nah,
it's-
man.
it's worth it.
Shout out to anybody that's listening, man. We appreciate it. Tell people share
Yep.
it. I mean, we just want to make it feel like
Yeah.
everybody's just chilling with us, hanging out in the living room like we are.
Yeah.
That's
Ask
all it
questions
is.
too. Those always help.
We commit too, man. If you hit us up on Twitter, we always reply to everything.
Yeah.
So if you
Yeah.
hit us up on Twitter, you'll see a reply.
You can find us on Twitter. What's our handle? Is it just here for
Here
speed?
for the speed.
Here for the speed.
We
Yeah.
really
Okay.
appreciate you.
We're
man.
also on Instagram. We do Instagram. We're trying to work on our YouTube. Unfortunately, I'm just busy, so trying to edit videos takes time.
The girls do Instagram and Facebook, so no promises of reply. But if you comment on Twitter, one of us will definitely 100%.
Yeah,
That's a guarantee.
The Twitter is us.
Yeah.
That's all us.
We won't tell you which one for plausible deniability's sake.
Exactly. So, all right, guys. Well, it's been fun as always, but hey, we're going to Dirt Bristol next week.
Let's go.
Let's see you guys there.
Peace out. Can't park here.
Later.
Later, guys.
Later.